invest at your own risk. It is true, because property investments is never about a saving plan. And property investment is a long-term commitment, and it's a long-term investment. As the name implies, investment encompasses risk. So invest at your own risk and make your decisions wisely. And together with our trusted advisors, we should be able to help you arrive at a good decisions. All right. So for those of you who have been following ERA's consumer seminars, let's recap some of those things that personally I have spoken in 2020 consumer seminars about the low interest rate environment that will affect the property market positively. And my prediction then was falling interest rate will boost price and sales volume. So indeed, there was a sharp fall in Singapore SIBOR during the start of the pandemic in March 2020. And SIBOR have fallen a lot. It's below 1% right now and still continue to stay low. And if we refer to what has happened now to the previous pandemic, such as 2008 global financial crisis and H1N1 and 2003 SARS, Iraq-US war, every time when there is falling interest rates, there is increase in transactions and also increase in property prices. And seriously, this is from historical events that have happened, and the effects is positive on the property price and transactions. So my prediction is falling interest rate in the COVID-19 and oil crisis in 2020 and moving on to 2021. Indeed, there is some positive effect, and in fact, a lot of positive effect on the property transactions and property price. It has soared, it has surged. So the fact is, low interest rate environment actually boosts property price and sales volume, and it's true. And in fact, the things that I also talked about during the previous seminars is that will transaction volume rise after the crisis? Our prediction in ERA is that transaction volume will recover after crisis, and in fact, recover strongly after crisis, because we take reference from what happens in the past. The new homes transaction pre and post SARS period has gone up as much as 156% over the next few years. That is after 2013. And as for pre and post global financial crisis, you can see that it also rise sharply to as much as more than 244% from a year rebound in terms of transaction volume. So transaction volume has indeed rebounded after circuit breaker period for this COVID-19 time. And in March and April, as you can see, the transaction volume percentage fall has deep as much as 32% in March and as much as 52% in April. That's new home sales. And beyond that, after that, in May, June, July, August, you see the volumes is rising, and currently it has actually risen, all right, after the COVID-19 circuit breaker period. It's risen quite a lot. So recap number 3 is, will property price rise after crisis? So property price will increase for new launch bought during crisis. This is what I spoke during the Condo and Pullman residences seminars. And indeed, the new launches purchased during SARS, which is the previous pandemic, such as the Pier at Robertson Garden Vista, the East Shine, and Stephen Loft. Now, all these are historical performance that I can show you during then. But now I want to tell you, after the COVID-19 circuit breaker period, what happened? The property price kept rising for the past 3 quarters after COVID-19 circuit breaker period. Isn't that amazing? Is that a coincidence there? Or is that the ERA predictions? It's pretty accurate. So prices grew by 2.1% in 4th quarter, highest growth since 2018 cooling measure. So the fact is, new launches at Newton vicinity bought during COVID-19 crisis enjoy price growth. So the PSF price of copper at Newton have increased by 6.26% since 2020. So for those of our consumer and our friends who have bought copper at Newton, congratulations. The paper gains that you are now sitting on is 6.26%. And if I look at the perspective of quantum, the price of one bedroom has indeed increased. The sales price has increased as much as 188,000. And that is since April 2020, after the seminars that I've spoken in copper. And till now, on the 5th of February, all right, the unit price have increased by 17%. And for two-bedroom units, it have increased by 9%, which is quantum of 127,000 paper gain. And for three-bedroom unit, it's 194,000, which is a 9% increase for a three-bedroom unit. So isn't that amazing after the COVID-19 circuit breaker? So how about the per square foot price for Pullman residences? Okay, it has grown about 2% since 2020. And in terms of the one-bedroom unit, it has appreciated 51,000 paper gain. And for a two-bedroom, it's 22,000 paper gain. And what's next in the Newton vicinity? So ladies and gentlemen out there, the Atelier, it's the projects that we are talking about this evening. So I'm going to present to you the Atelier, Freehold, District 9, Newton, where independence isn't just a state of mind, it's home. A new legacy begins with an intellectual pursuit. And indeed, a legacy brings about the heritage. So I'm going to talk about legacy. Indeed, legacy is something that is limited supply. Okay, things that is of not a lot in the world, such as the glove of Michael Jackson. Isn't that a legacy? Isn't Michael Jackson a legacy? And the things that apparel that he wears is also legacy. It carries with him even after he's gone. And indeed, this pair of glove is limited supply and it was put on auction. Do you know how much it was sold for? Do anyone know how much Michael Jackson's glove was sold for? And indeed, it's limited supply. It's one and only in the world. Okay, it was sold for $350,000. And how much is that in Singapore dollar? Possibly approximately 460,000 Sing dollar. Legacy equals to limited supply, and limited supply is indeed priceless. So if we look at another commodity of limited supply, you may say that this is like very mainstream, like Rolex watches. Looks like everyone wear Rolex watches. Yeah, possibly. But do you know that Rolex watch is of limited supply too? So recently, I thought of buying a gift for my kid. And I thought of buying a Rolex watch to him. And I go about shopping for Rolex watch. And to my amusement, there isn't supply for Rolex watches. And even though it is high price, there is no supply. I'm willing to pay that high price, but there is no supply. And I can't buy a Rolex watch, which means a Rolex watch is priceless. So even if you have that money and if there's no supply, you can't buy. So it's priceless, isn't it? So in the context of property, what is of limited supply? And ladies and gentlemen out there, in terms of property, what is of limited supply? What do you think? What is limited supply? Okay, let's talk about tenure. We are talking about freehold property. So if freehold properties is of limited supply, wouldn't that be priceless? And wouldn't that be legacy? So if it's so, let's take a look at the numbers for the limited freehold supply in Singapore. So in the whole island-wide, the total number of condos based on tenure, it's about 40-60%. Okay, in terms of the percentage, it's 40% freehold and 60% leasehold. So depending on which site you're in, well, if you are looking at something that is of limited supply, is freehold properties. But it's even lesser freehold supply for new launches, especially the current new launches. So these are the new sales supply that is brought about from the government land sales and en bloc sales during that period from 2017 all the way to 2019, where there is huge land sales during that, all right, for the last 4 years ago. And you know, among all these land sales that is converted to the number of units, the freehold supply is only about 8,600, pardon me, 8,651. Okay, as compared to the leasehold supply of 35,000. Okay, so that's slightly above 20%. So it's getting lesser and lesser. It's really especially scarce for freehold new home launches. So if you want to leave behind a legacy, why don't you choose to live in a freehold property, which gives you the benefits of leaving behind a legacy? That's what I'm coming from this evening, is that freehold properties offer superior wealth retentions for the future generations. And because there's no stop time and there's no time limit, isn't that a legacy? So tonight I'm going to talk about the 3 insights of the Atelier. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the price analysis. Then I will move on to locations analysis and project analysis. Okay? So please let me know, yeah? Let's talk about the first thing about pricing. Now we'll zoom into numbers and charts and so on. So please bear with me, those of you who are, very not so, you're more on that person don't want to look at numbers, but this one is talk about pricing analysis. Please bear with me. So there is CCR, District 9, Novena planning area, and comparable projects that I'm looking at. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the Atelier, which is situated in the core central region, District 9 and Novena planning area. So these are all the numbers that I want to show you. Okay, the capital gain in CCR, core central region, over the last 15 years is 171.9% in terms of PSF growth. That's quite a lot, no? From this point 2005 all the way till now, it's 15 years, it have grown by 171%. And Atelier is situated in CCR. Over the last 10 years have gone up by 28.9%, and over the last 5 years the growth is 19.1%. Okay, zooming in into District 9. So District 9 is one of the district in core central regions. The 15 years growth is quite correspond to the core central regions. It's 172%. 10 years growth is 12.9%, and 5 years growth is 9.4%. And zooming into the Novena planning area, so the capital gain over the last 15 years is even bigger, outperform the CCR and District 9. It's 225.1%. Okay, as for 10 years growth is 46.5%, and 5 years growth is 33.8%. So where am I trying to imply? I'm going to tell you that there is indeed historical price growth, huge historical price growth in the Novena planning area. So that's a plus point because you are anchoring into a locations that has huge capital gain, all right, as your basis of investments. There is this historical gains that is in terms of PSF growth. So what are the comparable new launches in CCR and selling prices? Okay, let's take a look at what are the surrounding District 9 freehold new homes are going for. It's averaging at 3,003 PSF, such as for the projects RV Altitude, the freehold District 9 projects. Okay, averaging sales price is about 2,932 PSF. The high is as high as 3,168 PSF. Okay, Avinia is another project that is in Freehold District 9. It is also averaging at 3075 per square foot and as high as 3367 per square foot. Okay, these are comparable freehold new homes. And if I put into a price line here, well, you can see the new homes is on the right-hand side of the arrow. Freehold in CCR is about 2,744 PSF. And freehold in District 9 is 3044 PSF. Okay, so besides that, there are the 99 years, which is 2003 to 2004. So you are looking at the freehold properties that earlier on I've talked about legacy and earlier on I talked about priceless product. Okay, this is the kind of price that it's value at. Okay, freehold in District 9, 3044 per square foot. So what about the Atelier? It's freehold in District 9. The good news is the starting launch price, it's from 28xx per square foot. The latest that I heard from the developer sales team and our ERA trusted advisor. Well, in fact, I just spoke to them this afternoon. Okay, it is starting launch price at 2008xx per square foot. So Atelier was located on the sites of the former Makeway, which is the en-bloc sales that is done in the year 2018. So if you still recall, the land rate at that locations, according to the media, in this case, it's HProp Singapore. The report says that it goes at the land rate of $1,626 per square foot per plot ratio. So don't worry, what does that mean? But I just want to show you, as compared to other land costs, that's among the upcoming freehold launches in CCR. This is the lowest, not one of the lowest. This is the lowest in the upcoming new launches in CCR. The Atelier is the lowest. The rest, like Perfect 10, Can Hill 16, KLMT, Can Hill, Eden's, Land Mansions, Nassim, and Park Nova. So all these are should be priced higher than the 2xxx starting price that I'm talking about. Okay, for sure it'll be higher. Okay, now let's take a look at locations analysis. Is everybody still there? Okay, let's move on to location analysis. Something that I want to talk about: location, and locations, which is so important for property investments. We are looking at the locations where there are infrastructure changes. If you are seriously looking at capital gain, there's always infrastructure benefits. Okay, so in these locations, there will be changes in the North-South Expressway and also the convenience of the Newton Mrt Interchange. Okay, so these are infrastructure benefits. So let me start off by zooming into that Newton Mrt Interchange. You know, the key here is it is not a station only. It is an interchange stations. So Newton Mrt is actually an underground MRT interchange stations on the red and the downtown line. Okay, the red is the north-south line. The red and the downtown line, it brings convenience to commuter traveling between downtown, northwest, and east. So what's so big deal about MRT interchange? Now, Atelier is only about 400 meters from Newton MRT station, isn't it? Okay, it's only about 400 meters away. So what are the potential for condos near Newton MRT stations? And this is what I've done for you. We've done a case study on condos that is within 400 meters versus condos that is 401 meter to 800 meter from Newton interchange stations. So we collected a basket of properties that is within 400 meters from Newton interchange station, and also condos that is 401 to 800 meters from Newton stations. Okay, so these are all the projects. Okay, as you can see, they are all freehold. Okay, that is in this vicinity, some very near, some further away from the MRT stations. And put it into more perspective in this image here. Within this circle here, these are all the resale condos that is very near to the MRT stations within 400 meters radius. And these are the others projects that is outside the 400-meter radius, but within 800-meter radius. And this is what we discover. We discovered that the condos that's nearer to the Newton MRT station, that's within 400 meters, which is what Atelier is situated, have higher capital gain than those further away. So it's evidence that if you are buying condos that is within 400 meters away from the interchange stations, the gain is better in longer term. Okay, so take note of this. So will Newton MRT station effects benefit the Atelier? Definitely yes. What about the north-south corridor? Okay, if you take a look at this image that's taken from the URA master plan, north-south corridor is the whole stretch from the north to the city in the south. All right, it comprises of the surface road, bicycle track, park connector, okay, pedestrian streets, and also underground tunnel. So this whole stretch of roads, expressway, cycling track, and walking pedestrian was stretched from the north to the south. And in fact, it's Singapore 11 network of expressway. So the part of the corridor is the north-south expressway. It's 21.5 kilometers all the way from Woodlands to the CBD. All right, connecting part of very near to Atelier, which is Newton, with the city center. So as you can see here, north-south corridor stretch all the way from the north to the south. And towards the end, before it reach the business district, which is in the CBD, it will pass by the Newton area, which is so close to Atelier. So the proximity is close, which means the entrance and the exits to Atelier is so convenient to all the owner of condos that is in the vicinity here. Okay, to go into that north-south expressway is so convenient. And to come back from anywhere, from the city center or from the north to Atelier is also so convenient. So what is the effect of that north-south corridor? Implications is that the Atelier residents will be able to take advantage of that north-south corridor to connect with resident towns that is, within a shorter time frame. All right, so there is a faster journey to the city also. So for any residents or tenant that is working in the CBD area, it will also brings Atelier even nearer to the city center. So if it's so, it will bring up the potential for price growth. So let me give you a case study about opening of expressway. So North-South Expressway have not opened yet. Okay, it will open in the near future. Okay, and possibly in the next 4 years' time or 4 to 5 years' time in 2026. So we look at the KPE, which has already opened, the Kallang Paya Lebar Expressway. Okay, we like to do a study here. So what happened when it opened and how does it affect the surrounding condos? So this may also imply that when the North-South Expressway opened, how would that affect on Atelier? So the KPE was opened in September 2008, all right, from the northeast all the way to the south. So it's like the North-South Expressway all the way from the north to the south. So we take the queue that is towards the city center, which is the south side. So at the end of the KPE, it's actually condos at Tanjong Rhu. So we do a case study like this. And how do the basket of condos in Tanjong Rhu behave during the opening of the KPE? All right, we take that properties that is in the Tanjong Rhu area, and these are the basket of properties. They are all 99 years, okay, over that locations. And we do a study there, is that they are all very close to the KPE exits. It's quite similar to the Atelier, which is also very close to that North-South Expressway exit, isn't it? So with that, we derived that the opening of the KPE has a catalyst effect for condos along Tanjong Rhu. The catalyst effect is good one, is price growth. All right, so it was opened in the month September 2028. So you can see that there is a positive uptrends all the way to now after the KPE is open. So it supported that price growth and bring about capital gain for locations that has no MRT at that time. And that location is like, I mean, 2008, the Tanjong Rhu location is really not so convenient, right? So it provides a lot of support for that positive price growth, even in that so-called Ulu locations during then. All right, but the good news is there's also more things coming out at the Tanjong Rhu area, possibly MRT that is in the near future. So the North-South Expressway is plays similar effect, and currently there's MRT at the Newton vicinity plus a North-South Expressway. I think it's even more positive. So what do you think? Will the Atelier be able to enjoy the North-South corridor opening effects? You bet. I think so, and I believe so. So what about homes near good school? Okay, by now, if you have seen that show gallery, the show flat, and you have recce around Atelier, you probably know that it's very near all the good school, right, isn't it? So all you new parents out there, or you first timer out there, young couples that is just got married, or you have a property right now and you want to buy a private property, okay, bear in mind that you probably need to anchor into a locations for your future, which is for your kids' school. It's so important in Singapore, isn't it? So look out for locations that is surrounded by good school, elite schools. And in this case, Atelier provides this benefit. So besides ACS, SCGS, okay, these are some of the other nearby institutions, not only cater for primary educations, but also for tertiary educations and institutions. So good school and elite school within 2 kilometers from Atelier is this, all right? Atelier is here. We have ACS School, Singapore Chinese Girls' School, St. Margaret's Primary Schools, and St. Joseph institutions. They are all within 2 kilometer radius. So this is good news, isn't it? And in fact, we did a study of this before, is that the rent of properties close to elite school usually fetch higher renter, believe it or not. So let me just show you the top 10 rentable properties in District 9 within 2 kilometers from ACS Primary School. Okay, there you are. These are the average rents per square foot per month. It ranges from 256 as well as 256 all the way to $6.42 per square foot per month. And that translates into as high as 6.25% rental yield. Okay, believe it or not. This is the benefit of living close to elite school. And for those who are landlord, this is added benefit for you. Okay, another thing I want to talk about in this location, it is very near to medical institutions, all right, such as the KK Women and Children's Hospital and Health City Novena. Okay, living near to medical institutions, are you sure about that? Are you kidding me? Am I too young to live near to school? And let me tell you this, in terms of needs, it will be nice to stay near to a hospital in terms of needs, okay? So if you are newlywed, in terms of giving birth to your first child, if you are near to that KK Women Hospital, wouldn't that be good? And for ladies, if it's near to that women's hospital, it does play an important part, okay, of our lifestyle. So what's so much about KK Women and Children Hospital? Okay, let me tell you this about KK Women and Children Hospital. It's high delivery rates. And what that means? Strong trust and reliability. So it's a large hospital, which means better equipped with specialized machineries for any kind of emergency. And a hospital specializing in maternity care and better handle emergency childbirth. Okay, like I said, you may not need it now, but in terms of need, it's very good. And it is the largest hospital specializing in maternity care. And there is a Guinness World Book of Record also. Enter into delivering the highest number of newborns, believe it or not, in 1966. And continue to hold this record for a full decade, delivering 85% of Singapore populations. So I'm one of the statistics. Don't know about you. And then the birthplace of 1.2 million Singaporeans since Singapore inception in 1924. Okay, so Atelier is only about 650 meters from KK Hospital. And what about the health city Novena effects? Okay, in that there is a lot of specialist hospitals and specialist institutions here that is in Novena area. And Novena, the health city Novena master plans, it's 2030, fully complete by 2030. And today is 2021, so we talk about 9 years more. And it is during the construction phase of Atelier and also completions. And this is the locations that spread about 600,000 square meters space used for medical learning, teaching, and healing. So it includes the health services, research and education, commercial, leisure, and public places. 17 hectares of land area equal to 34 soccer fields. So what's the big deal? It's about 1 kilometer away. You're not living in that health city, okay, but you're 1 kilometer away. So I want to show you some effects here for any kind of health city equivalent kind of expansion, how it affects the nearby home. Okay, let's take a look at the health city Novena master plan. Okay, this master plan started open in 2019, the National Center of Infectious Disease, which is part of the Health City Novena expansion. It opened in September 2019. Okay, September 2019 it opened. So there's another healthcare center that's open, is LKC School of Medical Clinical Science Building. That one is open in March 2017. So 2017 and 2019, during that phase one, which is till 2022, which is until next year. So what are the properties that's around Novena area that have benefited? So we did a case study for condos that's within 1 kilometer away from the health city Novena. And these are the basket of property. Okay, these are the basket of property that we have taken. And they are all freehold, new and old properties. Okay, and they are here. They are all within 1 kilometer away from health city Novena. Quite similar to Atelier. It's also about 1 kilometer away. And the price line shows that during the 2013 cooling measures, all these properties actually was challenged by the cooling measure, and price actually moderated to as low as 1,007 PSF. Okay, in first quarter 2013 was 2003. So it came down to 1,007 PSF. And during the phase one opening of LKC School of Medicine, so there you see, it supported that price growth. Okay, so that you don't fall further. It supported the price growth. And the second, during the first phase, another institution opened, which is the NCID open. Then the price even increased more till current price of averaging for a resale property at 2,087 per square foot for this basket of property. Okay, so well, the Health City Novena phase one, which will complete in 2022, all the way to phase two, which will complete in 2030, benefit the Atelier. My take, yes, definitely, right? In an aging population, Singapore, it's important to stay near health city like Novena. Okay, let's move on to our project analysis, which is the final insights that I would like to share with you this evening. So personally, I walked the ground today. I went to the sales gallery to have a better understanding about the projects. And indeed, I learned more about that projects and understand the differences and its USP. It's a unique selling point for this development. Okay, so if you're seriously looking in buying a unit, okay, this is what I have for you. Firstly, in this development, there is 3 distinct levels. That means that just which story is distinct. Is that there is this thing on the first story. It's called indulge at first story. So the developer creatively, brought forward to you this word indulge, and I feel for it. And I would like to say that the first story is an area that you will pamper yourself. Seriously? Yes. Pamper yourself at the first story and indulge being served by the concierge at Atelier. And there is also the secret garden trail that indeed will thrill you with the garden courtyard, and soak yourself in that aura lap pool, okay? And feel the garden lights, the reflective pool in the evening. That poolside cabana, the rainfall showers, all bring about that indulgence that gives you that pamper. So I tell you what, that is only first story. There's 2 other stories that they take note in this development. On the 6th story, it's called immerse. And immerse to me is like immerse in that atmosphere of socializing with your guests and even your loved ones. So in this 6th story, there is that kids splash and that treetop adventure and kids play, which you immerse with your relationship with your kids. And then there's also the English teapots, the sun deck, the bistro dining, the sensory dining, and epicure dinings. And what does this mean? You socialize, you immerse in socializing with your guests. And then the other level, which is like the 18th story, so much that is explained by the architect, it's about inspire. And I think about it, you can get inspired at 18th floor because there are amenities such as the study pods, where you can have your quiet time to think, to imagine, and to innovate. And the city skies, that the chill out, the billiard room, the hideout, the Atelier clubhouse, the seniority fitness, and the giant English chess just get you inspired, isn't it? So these 3 levels, these 3 stories at Atelier indeed brought about lots of interesting amenities. And if I look further, besides the many amenities, it's also about the high quality finishing in this District 9 freehold development. Okay, let's take a look at that finishings. The premium finishing used are, you cannot go without this. All right, the marble finishings from the floor to the wall, they're all marbles. And there's also setting glass that is in that cabinets, in the living and the wardrobes. And if we look into that appliances that is generously provided by the developer, there is the luxurious appliances for using marble and setting glasses. And if we look at the kind of appliance, okay, there is the Jessie, which is the matte black, okay, the taps and the shower. This is provided by the brand Jessie's. And there was also that brand Villoa and Bosch. Villoa and Bosch is a premium European brand that is for the toilet bowls. And that the Dielectric, which is known for its innovative cutting-edge appliances. And in this case, all the fridge, the ovens, the washing machines, the dryer, the cooker hook and cooker hobs are all from the Dielectric. Okay, let's take a look at the price of the Dielectric. And if we are looking at the oven, it's about $8,700. And if you take a look at that fridge, it's as much as $7,800. And that washing machine, the washer is $2,000. So these are all generously provided in that development. And there's also spacious living that is in this development. And let's take a look at the project's unit size comparisons in the Newton vicinity for new launches. So for one bedroom in Atelier, we are looking at 549 square feet, a very good livable space for one bedroom. And for two bedroom units, it's 872 to 915 square feet. Indeed, it's a very spacious two bedroom. And for a three bedroom is 1,173 to 1,281. So as I was stepping into the show flat of that 2 and 3 bedrooms this afternoon, I can feel the size differences. And I even remember, hey, this is like the older days condominiums, which is like bigger in size. So if you take a look at the comparisons of the project's unit size in the Newton vicinity, indeed, there are differences in that space. Okay, our trusted advisor shall be able to present to you all these slides after the presentations. But in the meantime, please continue to lend me your ears about the spacious units of that one bedroom. Okay, so you can see that it's a very usable layout and a good size master bedroom, which is 11 square meter. And the size of the master bedroom actually increases from one bedroom, 11 square meter to 13 square meter for two bedroom. It's a very functional layout. And a three bedroom, similarly, very functional three bedroom layout. And the master bedroom is as big as 15 square meter. One of the largest that I've seen in any developments here in Singapore. Well, it's another big size 20 square meters living space. Okay, easily fit in dining sets of 6-seater and a 3-seater sofa. Okay, the developments, the project analysis comes with this USP. It's complete with smart and green living for present and also for future. Can you imagine this? Because it's freehold, it's long term, right? So you can enjoy that smart and green living for now and for future. So what is now? The smart community livings, because the COVID-19 pandemic has reinforced the importance of smart living. So it's important to have things like face recognition, leave lobby. You don't have to press button, so there's no contact. So you can just, if you're a resident or a tenant or a owner that stays in the development, it is just recognitions using face recognitions at the leave lobby. Isn't that wonderful? No contacts, and it's contactless wave button. Okay, for that leave. All the facilities booking, I understand, is from that apps that is provided for the residents. And the apps allow you to create QR code for your guests so that when they visit you, it is hassle-free visits. You don't have to go through the security and booking and so on. The visitor it's all done digitally. And there's a smart puzzle box that is located at the building itself to ensure that your delivery on your online purchase is all secure. And there's also a car plate recognitions. So I thought about it. What's the difference between the car plate recognition and the ERP IU recognition? Because most of the condos, you have to give them your car IU number, right? Well, don't you know that in the near future, the car IU will be phased out? That could be a very good reasons why they are doing this. It's a car plate recognition. So you're not recognizing your IU, is recognizing your car plate. So obviously the developer has put into thoughts for the future. And there's also mobile access to facilities. So all facilities is booking using your smartphone apps and smart letterbox that conveniently unlock your letterbox. So in case if you forget your key, you can always turn on your apps to open your letterbox. And lifestyle services such as such as exclusive discount on arrays of lifestyle services. Well, I wonder what is that? Possibly is group purchase. using their apps. Okay, suppose smart home living in the house itself, there is the usual digital lock set, okay, the aircon control, lighting control, smart detector, and water heater control. So I think this comes with it in a lot of developments. Okay, so it's quite similar in a smart home living in today's context. Okay, some of the added value services for ultimate convenience. Not sure whether you enjoy this, but for someone that is busy executive that, if you are always busy and find it very difficult to make appointments for your dinner and your lunch, and very often you forget to book and you go to that restaurant, you have to queue. It's as simple as calling your concierge and be greeted and have all your needs met. So they do have concierge service to help you to book with all these restaurants, beauty salon, laundry service, handyman service, and all these in the concierge service. And they also provide porter service, okay, for lifting heavy items. Wow. So that you can focus on the quality of your life. Looks like there is porter out there that will help you with your heavy shopping items when you're back home. And also lounge service and refreshments with a full collections of tea, coffee, and snacks at the lounge. Wonderful, isn't it? So seems like a hotel lobby. And transportation arrangement is no problem. The concierge will help you. Parcels and postage can even be arranged to your doorstep. E-bicycle rental and umbrella rental. Okay, so these are the good to have kind of things that comes with the development. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, it is brand as a green mark features building. Okay, which means it's eco-friendly, climate-friendly, environment-friendly. And one of the things that is home for the future is about electric car. So we all know that Singapore being a smart city, we are moving towards this. And in time to come, the combustion engine will be changed to an electric powered car. Okay, so in this development, there is provision for electric charger, okay, for the electric car. And I also understand that there is provision for a lot of charging units in this development. So it is truly a home for the future. And if you intend to buy a priceless home so that you can live in it and live in a legacy, then this should be the place. So ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude tonight's sessions with this quote. If you are going to leave a legacy and make a mark on your loved ones that can't be erased. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to you to present the Atelier.
What do we collect throughout our lifetime? Art, watches, sports cars, a collection of rare wines. But as we acquire these items, what are we truly inspired by? Recognition for one, to reaffirm our standing and position in life. Where we are, after all, says a lot about who we are. Experiences, because life is all about the moments you never forget. Legacies, for what we acquire and pass for generations, like investing in a home for them. being close to where the best schools are. Our relationships with the ones that matter most. Creating a life together that's above the rest and connected in every sense. The Atelier, a single definitive tower, 120 freehold exclusive residences, where independence